Today, I feel more lucky, more than blessed, but to be here, to see the changes that have occurred, to live to see a young man, a young friend like President Barack Obama become president of the United States of America. It was worth the pain. And that's why I believe that can I give up? Can I give in, become bitter or hostile?
Note the message of hope from John Lewis for the protesters out there fighting racial inequality. He's a man who speaks from experience, having stood shoulder to shoulder with Dr. King, having been beaten to within an inch of his life as police fractured his skull in Selma in 1965. Our guests remain with us, Alvin Tillery, John Della Volpe. Professor Tillery, I've had the great good fortune in life to get to know John Lewis a little bit. And when you sit with him, once you get over the disparity in moral authority, what bowls you over is the hopefulness of that man who is now, by the way, in the fight of his life against cancer. I just hope cancer knows what it got itself into.
Yes, I mean, I think, Mr. Lewis is a symbol of hope and freedom for us all to follow. And I hope that the protesters that are in the streets today can borrow the model that he and Dr. King and Miss Rosa used to translate their activism into change at the polls and in policy. And if that can happen, it will truly be a transformational moment.
John, with a shout out to my home county in New Jersey, I saw a poll today from Monmouth asking people if they're more worried today, in effect, about racial inequality than they were 5 years ago. Well, there's your result. Over 3/4 of us believe discrimination is a problem. And John, there's your driver. You were just talking about the generations that came up after us, gently opening the door and saying, "What's your hurry?" There's your change driver right there.
Absolutely. And it's a different generation. The values, I call them the values generation, Brian. And what's happening is I think COVID matters because I think COVID has brought some families together. And I think even before the last couple of weeks, there was a lot of shared communication and conversations where perhaps for the first time, older Americans have the same level of stress and anxiety that younger Americans have every single day. The struggle, the concern about the inequality, so many younger voters go into the voting booth, not just representing themselves, but representing those without a voice. And I think perhaps some of that conversation might be one of the reasons we're seeing these polls tip like they are.
That is positively Lewisian optimism to hear from you. I've struggled night after night to find the good in this pandemic. And what you've settled upon, though, is fascinating, that this might have just had a cross current of understanding about it.
I think to the degree that there is any silver lining or any bright side, when we ask people in polls, what impact it's had, it's brought people closer to their family, closer to their friends. And we saw a little bit of this in 2008 when younger people inspired their grandparents to take a look at Barack Obama. And I think the same thing could be happening today, not just about politics, but about the future of the country and resetting where we're headed.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.